So guys, I got called out to this 2008 Saturn Astra, which is kind of interesting. I had to find a scan tool to communicate. And the complaint was the brake lights were on all the time. So they had this blue connector disconnected here that would turn off the brake light, and they said there's wire back here. And I'm like, okay, I'll come out and look at it. So look at the diagram right here for the exterior light circuit. Got this 5 amp fuse 16, comes down this red wire and then feeds this brown and gray. Okay, right here, goes to the stop light switch signal and this relay. And I'll show you guys what happened. So, let me put the car back to the way I found it. There we go. Okay. So, I came in here and I looked at scan data. Let's go back to scan tool. It might have disconnected. I took the key out. Watch this. So we'll go back into scan data. Just turn the key back on. So look at this. We have our brake light switch. So you see how they both say active? And if I come down here and I press this, you'll see one changes, but not the other. I'm like, oh, maybe they got a bad brake light switch. See how it says inactive? So then I decide to put my scope up to the switch. So let's look at this. So on the one right here, we have 0 volts. On this one wire, we got like 0 volts, okay? Right here. On this brown and black, okay? And then we go to the other one. Right here. This is our brown and gray. So this one we have 12 volts, and then when I press it, I know it's probably a little hard to see, but when I press it, see the voltage drops down. See it every time I press it. It changes, okay? So there we go on that. So then I was like, oh, I'll probe these up here. And on this one, I'm like, wow, we have 4 volts. And I looked up on Mitchell, because this is our, let's see if we can see this one. This is our red and green. And when I went on Mitchell, it said, oh, I'm sorry, red and gray. No, wait, no, right here. Oh, red and blue, sorry, red and blue. It says powertrain relay fuse supply. And I couldn't find it on the diagrams. And then I went under, what did I go under? I think I went underneath this one. Sorry guys, clicking on everything. And I went under engine performance, because I went under ABS and it wasn't there. We have the red and blue right here. And it says it was fed by fuse 32. Here's another thing too. Watch when we start this up. So when we start this up, we get this ripple on this one, okay? And we go to the other circuit, our output side. I'm like, wow, we got negative volts. I'm like, I wonder if there's a fuse missing or something, or we got a bad power feed. See that negative 1 volt on the output from the switch. So I'm like, oh, we'll check this fuse 32. And here, I'll show you guys. Right now, the brake lights are on. Put this down, see third brake lights on. So we come over here, and I looked in here, and I'm like, oh, we got 36, 35, 34, 33. So we're down to 33 there, and I'm like, oh, there's no fuse 32. So I put our 5 amp fuse in here, and now look. So our brake lights are on right now, because our switch is out. But watch this. Let me put my rubber band back on here. So that my rubber band's on there, okay? Now we got 13 volts on that circuit. And look at our light. Our light's out down here, and our light's out up there. All because of that. And watch this, when I go back to the scan tool, look at that, they're both inactive now. Isn't that amazing? Fuse was missing. Just wanted to show you guys that. You just have to break down the circuit, because I was like, how does this switch work? And it's broken up on 2 diagrams. So you gotta use engine performance and exterior lighting to find this. I hope you guys liked that. Maybe you learned something. I know it was real quick, but I don't want to spend a lot of time out here. But man, they had this car all ripped apart trying to fix this. See you guys later.